Hello and welcome. We're here at Arts Alive, and I'm Claudia Herber, and I'm interviewing and talking with our friend Sharon Cook. She's an extraordinary painter. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Well, I'm happy to be here. We're good friends, and what could be better than that?
Exactly, exactly. Sharon and I are partners in Currents Gallery, and this is so fabulous because now I get an opportunity to really talk about your art. So tell us, I know you came to art late, so tell us about that.
Well, I've been playing with art for maybe over 20 years, but nothing serious and no confidence, and I play at it, just do a sketch with my husband once a year for a Christmas story that we work on. And all of a sudden, right before I'm 70, not quite, but I know I'm an artist deep down inside. Something happens, I think, with all artists when you know. And I just thought, this is it. I retired from being a flight attendant, and I just started I first took a watercolor class, and I just told everybody, and I'm an artist, and then I had to prove it.
There you go.
To everybody and to myself.
Yes.
So I just really, how you bloom when you're in something that you really feel confident about.
Right.
So when I first started, I had no confidence in myself, but I knew I was doing what I should be doing. And now I have all this confidence about myself, and I still don't know what I'm doing. That's the difference.
Not sure that that's really true.
Well, I love what I do, and I think for all artists, I know it is true for me, when you paint, you're expressing yourself.
Yes.
And
yes.
That is wonderful. It's a wonderful feeling, and to be able to transfer your feelings onto a canvas. Mm-hmm. And I work now in oil and cold wax, so I work on birch cradle boards.
Okay.
So it has a nice hard surface. I can just be very demanding on that board instead of, I can scratch back, I can peel back layers, I can add.
Right.
And so it's a wonderful medium for expressing yourself and for abstract painting, because I work with what people do call abstract painting, but it's really an expression of the artist.
It truly is, and you do a wonderful job. So tell us what is the difference between, say, just plain oil or acrylic painting and oil and cold wax? Well,
the wax, and the cold wax is it is a beeswax, and it's like a Crisco. It's real thick and buttery.
Oh.
And it's a medium. So most art, when you're working with oil or you're working with acrylic, you have different mediums to work with the oil paint or with the acrylic paint. Mm-hmm. And so the cold wax is a medium that you mix with the oil, and then I use Galkit, another medium, and then you put it on with a spatula, or we call it squeegee, like you would squeegee down your windows on a car, on palette knives, and palette knives are wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
So you can put a thin layer on, a thick layer, and you just keep on layering, and then you take away, put on, and then you usually discover what your painting is trying to create. You work with your painting.
Sure. And if you kind of get it to a spot where you're not real happy with it, then you've got all those layers to move or add to or keep going.
Yes, and then I'll do several compositions. I like it, and I wake up the next day, I don't like it. Or the next day, I love it.
Yes.
And I know I have something, but there's when you're finished with everybody asks, when do you know you're done with the painting?
Oh, big question. Yeah.
And usually the painting will tell you when it's done.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's what's fun about it. There's a communication going there.
Exactly.
It's hard to explain, but there is a communication.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. An artist does know when they're done. And they might not always be happy with where it is, but they know that that's the end of the road.
Well, sometimes it looks like the end of the road, and wake up the next day and go, this is ugly. And then you start over, but then you have this beautiful layers underneath, and you keep on going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I have been to your studio, so I do know.
Yeah.
You've said to me, this is when I started, and we saw it in the gallery as one thing, and now all of a sudden it's going to be something different.
It's going to be something different.
Because you've had a different thought about it.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
And so you're not just limited in this particular format of oil and cold wax. You do other things also.
Well, I do. I mean, not as much as my love is the oil and cold wax.
Right.
But it's fun to work with paper.
Yes.
And so I teaching collage classes because it's fun to rip and tear and to teach. You know, it's a great class to teach because somebody who's never done art at all, they can take this class and make something in a day. And as a teacher, I really like encouraging students that there's an artist in all of us. And there is, and when somebody says, oh, I can't draw a stick person, you know, but really, they can do more than they think. And so it's just bringing that out in a student. And
wow, exactly.
Which is funny. You teach too, so I know you know what that's like. But
well, I have seen you drag a lot of your friends into situations where they're kind of wondering, can I do? Sharon keeps telling me I can do this.
Yeah, I do.
And sure enough, you know, I think your encouragement, your love and support of them helps them a lot.
Yeah, it's fun to be a teacher, and we have great classes at Currents Gallery where we have a wonderful studio.
Absolutely.
It's a great studio to teach in because there's plenty of room. And I'm doing a new one called Mixed Media because all of a sudden I've learned, you know, we're always learning as artists, you know, all these different wonderful things to use, and it started with sketching. I go, oh, these pens are wonderful, and then why don't we add paper to this? Why don't we, you know, make some texture? And so I think I want to teach, you know, this class and teach some of my friends how to, you know, to go a different direction. I've been teaching how to make birds. Now let's do something different.
Well, and it's going to be a fabulous class. It's Saturday, May 13th. So are there still spaces available?
There's room, so come.
Yes.
Please come.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I know that people will really enjoy playing. It's not a class where you need a lot of art experience.
No,
is that correct?
You don't need any art experience. It's just, you know, being creative. We're all creative people, and we all have different styles. So let's come and let's find what your creative avenue is. Right?
I love that. I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, good. So that's May 13th on a Saturday.
A Saturday.
Yeah. So Sharon, what's the future for you?
What's the future for me? That's a good question. You know, you kind of just keep on painting, and I can't ever see me stop painting. I mean, I started painting so late that, oh my goodness, if I can't get out of bed, I guess I can't paint. But, you know, sometimes we do get sick. And I paint pretty much full time. You know, it means a lot.
It does.
And if I don't, you know, if I'm gone away from it, maybe for a week, you kind of get depressed as an artist.
Right.
And so one thing I started doing was sketching. So I take sketchbook with me when I go places.
I was hoping you were going to talk about that, because you're part of you're part of the Salem sketching group.
Right.
But then you got a bunch of us in McMinnville all excited about sketching.
I did, yes. And so it's just, another way to be creative.
Uh-huh.
And like when you go on vacation, like I did this last year, instead of taking a picture, which we all take pictures with our phone, right?
Right.
But sketching a picture, what's in front of you.
Yes.
I mean, you take that memory home with you, and it is better than a photograph. And you can jot down little notes, you know, of course, always the date, the time where you were, but it's a fabulous medium just for everybody to get involved with. And again, you don't have to worry about having an eraser with you. You just keep on
going.
Keep on going, yes.
Well, I will say, just as a side comment on that, it's much more fun to look through your sketchbook and then to say, oh, you want to see all my vacation pictures?
Yeah,
you know how people do that to you.
Yeah,
so looking at the sketchbook is fabulous.
It is fabulous.
Well, we wish you the absolute best, and we know that there's lots of good things coming from you. And so we'd like to say thank you for tuning in to Arts Alive, and thank you to Sharon Cook for joining us today.
You.